Would you update us on Nazem Kadri and if he's out for the series and possibly the postseason, and what further thoughts do you have on the hit after seeing it again?
Yeah, I mean, it's same as last night. He's out for the series, possibly longer. We should find that out in the next few days. And my thoughts are the same on the hit. I think it's a dangerous hit.
Up front, Peter.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about Mikko. Just with Kadri out, how comfortable would you be having him play center? I know at points in the regular season you did that.
Yeah, I mean, it's an option for us for sure. I mean, he did a nice job in playing center when both Mac or Naz were out of the lineup, and we found some good line mates for him, and they produced well, and we're responsible on the defensive side of things, so it's definitely a good option for us.
Front right.
You talked about JT last night a little bit in his game, but he's been playing well the last few games. What have you really liked about his play this postseason?
Always a responsible defender. Really good on the checking side of things. I think, when he's producing offensively, he gets this tenacious attitude in his game, and obviously playoffs intensity gets ramped up, so he's brought that over the last little bit, and he's been getting to the net. He's never scared to get to the net front and create chances. And you look at his goal last night, comes at a key time, and it's a puck battle that he gets involved in and wins, and then takes it to the net and is able to score. So plays like that stand out, obviously, and we're seeing more of it in his play throughout the 60 minutes of these last few games. He's been finding a way to produce for us.
Second row on the left, Mark.
Jared, there's been, we've got a couple injuries in this series and a lot of stuff going on. Two teams playing hard with the Stanley Cup in sight. Zach Hyman said he thought it was just because this might be the fastest series he's ever been in, that stuff's happening so fast. When you get two really fast teams playing with this much at stake, are we bound to see maybe some lines getting crossed here?
You hope not, but I think that, certainly the speed of the game, things can happen. I mean, guys aren't going to shy away from confrontation and even in some dangerous areas, because every play is so important. So you're going to see some things happen that, injuries are part of the game. They happen. I mean, we lost the guy in the first round to, a clean hit, and it can happen. You're playing hard, and you're certainly not going to give an inch to guys in areas where there's puck battles, but you're hoping that guys are still respectful of the game and their opponents and playing clean, even if it is a physical and hard game.
Stay on the left.
Just wondering to Speck's point. I mean, you lost Gerard. We've seen, Kemper hasn't been available to you, and now Kadri. I mean, can you talk just about how important with attrition in the playoffs? You mentioned this yesterday, next man up. I mean, you look at a team like Tampa, they lose Braden Point. They never, ever talk about it, and just how, if you want to be a championship team, you just have to move on from those things.
Well, I mean, you don't. The reality of it is you want to control what you can control in all situations. So we don't spend a lot of time talking about, guys that are injured and out. We certainly feel sorry for those guys, and as their coach, you got guys playing, well, it could be their whole careers to try to get to this point or be able to move on, and all of a sudden they're out. So you feel for those guys because they poured so much into your team, but you have to move on and look at your options, and everyone else has to be ready to go. We don't spend a lot of time talking about officiating or, the outside noise of fans or media, because, we have to be focused on, we have a tough enough job at hand and task at hand that we have to be focused on that and how to have success within that. So that's been our mentality, and we've learned that over the last few years, and guys have done a nice job staying focused and ready and ready to perform.
Stay on the left, Ken.
Jared, you talked a lot about your depth. I mean, what has it meant to have that internal healthy competition as you try to push through when you deal with some of this adversity?
Well, it helps. I mean, I believe that all of our players' hearts are in the right place, and they're going to go out and play to the best of their ability. But it can be a long season and a long postseason, and players go through ups and downs. And when you have players that have had success for you at different points during the season and in the playoffs, and they're sitting out, and those are tough decisions for a coach to make. You know that they're watching and learning, and that they're getting prepared to come in and help you when they get the call. So you're getting a really hungry player come in. We've seen that for us through the playoffs. It's a luxury, I think, over the last couple of years that we probably didn't have like we have now. Like the depth that we added at the deadline really helped us. It's just kind of where our team has gotten to, and Joe was able to add the right pieces for our group, and those guys have all come in and made impacts. And Sturm comes in last night, plays a real good hockey game for us. And when you get the injuries, it's nice to have, veteran guys that have been around and have played for you through the season and the playoffs, and have made an impact. So depth is really important. Staying healthy is really important. You need a little bit of luck in order to be able to move.
We have time for 3 more. Peter up front.
Staying on the topic of depth, it looked like you moved Megna up from the Black Aces group to the main group. Just why was he the guy you thought was the best option to maybe slot in?
Played really well for us when he's come up, and he's had a good year with the Eagles. So it's a veteran guy, again, that can really skate. I mean, we know his skating ability, so if needed, he's a guy that we could call on.
Up front, Mike.
Yeah, I got a two-parter, but the first one's going to be quick. I've heard that Kadri has a broken right thumb. Can you confirm or deny?
No.
Last year you lost Kadri and you struggled. Ultimately lost 4 straight. How much more depth do you have as a team this year? I mean, how much more prepared are you to move on without Kadri this year opposed to last year?
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of just answered that, but we have a significant amount of depth that we didn't have probably in previous years, and I think this year especially, we've gone without some of our top guys for large stretches of the season, different guys out at different times, more so than we had in years past. And we found a way to get the job done without them, and different guys elevating their games. We've played a lot more, especially in the second half of the year down the stretch, on moving some lines around and not just staying with what was working, just to make sure we were prepared for situations like this. So we feel pretty good about it.
Last question, front left.
You've had a couple of shots at closeout games. What have you liked about the team's approach to closing out series?
Just staying focused on the process. That's the main thing. Like we've staying in the moment, breaking games down 5 minutes at a time, focusing on what we can control, our work ethic, our competitiveness, the determination, and how we play with the detail in our structure. Guys are focused on those things over and over again. They've done a nice job of it, and I expect it to be no different tomorrow.